And this is lesson number 2.
We're going to use the rendering techniques from the first lesson to look at these shapes, and we'll just make any kind of shape we want to and light it as if the sunlight is hitting it, as it is hitting the orange and the apple here. These shadows here are all coming in from the window. But you can see the direction of the sunlight is coming from this direction. So I'm going to write down this is for my notes so you can realize it. You don't have to write these words on your paper unless you want to. So here's the sun. And here's the shadow. So let's just draw a shape. And then we'll light it with using our rendering. And we can put a background here, like the edge of a table or the horizon line. I'll just draw it in behind, and I'll stop at the border of our shape. And just continue it like that. And we can think of this as the edge of the planet or the edge of a desert. And this could be a floating cloud, or it could be a floating Casper the ghost. It could be a balloon. But the sun is coming down here and hitting it. And we can go lighter and lighter as it comes up closer to the sun, and then get heavier as it goes away from the sun and around the shape where it would be in the shadow. And you can look at the orange here, where the orange is dark here and then it's lighter because the reflection of the paper is shining back up on the orange, and the shadow on the object is here, and the shadow on the ground is here. You can see that. So let's draw that shadow here. Let's see, that's kind of a weird one. We'll just make an ellipse kind of thing. Like that's, we'll just call that the shadow. And we'll just make this kind of even. Okay, that's the shadow. And we'll go back in and get that shadow inside the object. And just go lighter and lighter as it gets closer to the sunlight, and darker as it gets into the shadow of the object. So what we're doing here is we're rendering objects with light and shadow. And then this side, as you can see here, it's a little darker than that. That's a very nice highlight right there. So let's make that all just a light shade of gray, just so we can kind of see the difference. A lot of this is just building up tone over tone, a little darker over darker, and then as you go closer to the sunlight, you go lighter and lighter and lighter, just like we did in the previous lesson. And very light here, just to give an idea of where that light is coming in. And you can do circular strokes to try to even it out a little bit. You can do back and forth. Just try to even it up. You can see these holes in the color where it's the gray is a medium and then it's lighter. Well, those little spots, you can kind of fill those in a little bit. And then you can, if you want to get really dramatic, you can make this a lot darker. Here's where the roundy strokes kind of work out pretty nice. So circular strokes lighten up as you get closer to the light. Heavy up as you get into the shadow. Now, if this was a Casper the Ghost, it would be transparent. So if you want to make this transparent, we can do a very light line and connect the horizon line like that. Just a very light line. And then we can add color on the horizon line and define this even more so. And then lighten up as you go down. And you can go over this guy too, it doesn't matter. As long as you're lighter, you still get a difference. You still get a difference.